Hi, this is Michelle Courtois, and today I'm going to teach you how to draw stitches in Kaledo Knit. As you can see, I've launched the program. I'm going to go up to Knit Panel Settings, and I'm going to change the size of my panel and make it smaller just to show you this exercise, and I'm going to leave my wheels and courses the same size. Yes. Okay, I'm going to start down here on the bottom left-hand side of my panel. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add a few more colored yarns here to my palette, and then I'm going to tap on those colors so that I can change them and make them more visible. Alright, so here I'm going to make this light blue. I'm going to make this. Now, don't be afraid of the colors. These are just contrast colors so we can see what we're doing as we're creating stitches. Okay, so here I have four different colored yarns. I'm going to go to Stitch Chooser. This is where you're going to find the library for all of your stitches. If you are an experienced knitter, you're going to have a lot of fun here. I'm going to start with, let's start with the moss stitch. Okay, so you have different types of stitches that you can create. I'm going to do a 2-row moss stitch, and I'm going to start with the front. So I select, I tap on the stitch I want. I'm going to use B, and I'm going to use the brush tool. I want to make sure I am working with colored yarns and working with stitches. So I'm just going to start here. I'm going to go front, and then I'm going to select C, and I'm going to scroll up, and I'm going to say back. I'm going to zoom in so you can see what I'm doing. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make a whole bunch of backs, and then I'm going to go make a whole bunch of fronts. Now this is only so you can see what you're doing. You can also go up to View and change from the yarn mode to a flat mode so you can just see boxes. This is just a way to kind of help you keep track of what you're doing. When you go do your colorways, you can make them all one color if you want it to be solid. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go up to my masking tool. I'm going to select these stitches, and I'm going to say Control C. I'm going to copy these. And then I can just paste in my row so I don't have to go stitch by stitch by stitch by stitch. Then I'm going to hit Escape to make my stitches, my little stamp, disappear, and then Control D to deselect. Okay, so here's some stitches. I can go up to my colorways, and if I want to, I'm going to add a colorway, and I can make them all the same color. Voila! Okay, so the next thing I want to show you is I'm going to make a masking box like that. I'm going to say, let's try a different stitch here. I'm going to say tuck stitch, and I'm going to select, well, the front, and I'm going to select yellow. If I go here to my bucket tool, I can dump that stitch in to a whole row. Now, the other thing I can do as well is if I deselect Work on Colored Yarns and dump the stitch in, whoops, it will not change the color of the yarn. It will use the first color position of A and only change the stitch. So I hit Escape and deselect, and I'm going to zoom out. So this is basically what you're going to do when you are building stitches. So if I want you to create a rib on a garment, you can just go to Jersey, and you're going to have, this is the front jersey stitch. If we select the back, you are just going to draw rows of jersey for your hems on your cuffs and your bodice. So here it's drawing the color of A because I'm only changing the stitch and not the color. So if I wanted to draw this stitch in a different color so I can see, I can just do it like that. And that is basically how you draw with stitches.